Danny Segura for MMA Junkie. I'm here with former UFC middleweight champion Luke Rockhold, who is days away from making his bare-knuckle debut against Mike Perry at BKFC 41 in Denver. First of all, Luke, what are you eating, man? It looks like you're enjoying a good meal there.
It's a little snack. I've got perfecting athletes in the house. It is watermelon, feta, and mint.
Okay, nice. That's an interesting combo. This fight is at 185. Usually, I know you're a big dude. At light heavyweight, you looked, the part. How hard are these cuts now for 185?
It's not ideal, but
Yeah.
honestly, it's where my body operates best. I'd have to
Mm.
say, once I'm there, it's just a struggle to get there. When I'm fighting,
Right.
making 185, 186 ain't fun, but when I'm fighting around 200 to 205, that's my best position. And so,
Okay. Nice. How much do you gain back usually after weigh-ins?
about 15, 17 pounds.
Ooh, that's a good amount. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, did you just see your weight skyrocket? Like after every hour, it's just like 2-3 pounds heavier, and it just keeps going up till you're like 15 pounds heavier.
Every hour. About an hour, I'll put on, I don't know, 10 pounds.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Or maybe 12, 13. I mean, it's quick, man. It's a hydration because it's just about you dehydrate and then you want to rehydrate as fast as possible. I like to dehydrate as close to the weigh-in as possible. The longer you're dehydrated, the longer it affects.
Yeah, for sure, man. And this fight, I believe, is the first fight you have outside of the UFC in over a decade. So I wanted to ask you, how has fight week been like dealing with media? Is it a lot different than the one you would experience in the UFC? And how is the feeling? Is it new? Is it fresh? How would you describe the build up to this fight?
It's definitely different. It's we just gotten into fight week now, so we'll see how things run. It's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how this company runs their fight week. So things kick off tomorrow. We'll see how together their shit is. But media wise, I think so far so good. I mean, it's been there's a lot of interest. I think me and Mike Perry brings a lot of interesting things to the table.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is a huge event, probably BKFC's biggest event they've had so far since they started the company. And let me ask you this: this fight against Perry, obviously, it's coming on the heels of I don't know if to call it a retirement. I don't ever think you used the word, but you kind of indicated that you were done fighting. But I'm just curious. Last time we saw it was in August. Was it an official retirement in your mind? Were you done, or did you know that you were gonna return to combat sports sooner or later?
I kind of wanted to do some other things for sure. I was definitely just tired of the UFC and dealing with them and and so Perillo is over here just scrolling. Yeah, I needed a break. And I wanted, my legs have been tortured through fighting and a couple surgeries after the fight, so I needed to change it up, and still definitely very interested in combat sports, but the UFC and the structure and everything right now, it just wasn't for me at the time.
Yeah. Do you ever envision a way back to the UFC, or do you feel like that chapter is fully closed?
I don't think it's closed. I mean, it could be open, it could be closed. It just depends, man. I feel like I'm getting better in a lot of ways, and it's time to go out there and perform. So I do my job, and I got a lot more things on the menu.
Yeah, for sure. And as far as the BKFC contract that you have, is it for one fight? Do you have multiple? And also, like, what are your expectations under this promotion? I think Chad Mendes recently was asked about it, and he's like, "Look, I'm just kind of here for fun fights. Like, I don't have any interest in fighting for the belt or anything like that." I don't know if you're the same, or do you actually have title aspirations in the promotion?
I think the champion is not really even relevant. It's not worth that my time. Mike Perry is the interesting fight. I want to fight that gets me excited, gets the fans excited, and fucking pays the bills. So, um, this is the fight that people want to see, and I'm excited about it. So, I think it's a great little comeback fight. I think I can go out there and do my thing, and then I'm exclusive to Bare-knuckle. If I were to Bare-knuckle some more, let's see how I like it. Let's see how I like it. But I think there's a lot of other options out there for me too. So I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be handcuff myself to one thing like the UFC.
Right.
That was the thing that kind of like takes the fun out of it. There's so many other avenues now in boxing and different exhibition fights that you can go out there and pick off who you want and for what you want and get everyone fucking intrigued and excited at the same time. It's just something that keeps me going. Getting stuck in that revolving world of the UFC and them picking and choosing what's up. It's like, nah, it's not for me. I've done that shit.
Well, I guess what's it? So you mentioned how like you were kind of tired of it and you needed something new, but what was it exactly? Was that kind of like the politics around it, or what exactly turned you off at this point in your career, like to fighting with the UFC?
I mean, it's my legs was one of the biggest issues, straight up. So kicking is hard on my legs at this time, and but it's like I go in there with a wrap on my leg because my shin. I had a bad surgery that was ill informed by the UFC, and it basically put my leg in jeopardy every time I kick. So it's not the funnest thing to go in there, on your conscious and training with and doing that. Then I just had a couple other things going on with my ankle after that fight, so that was definitely the big reason why heading out. And I think I was stuck in an older contract, and I couldn't kick, and so it's like, well, I'm gonna fight my way out of this thing with my biggest weapon, my left kick, taken away from me to go back through the ranks. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And I've talked to a lot of fighters, MMA fighters specifically, who've transitioned to boxing, Anderson Silva, many others. And they mentioned that, how like MMA, you're just kind of riddled with injuries through grappling, through kicking, this and that. And boxing, in a way, it's much more healthier preparation. There's sort of less room for injury, and that's why probably you don't see that many like boxing fights fall through. Whereas in MMA, cards are constantly changing. Have you felt that like in the preparation to this? Like, man, my body just feels so much healthier than it does for an MMA camp.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely has a lot to do with it. But I'm in Bare-knuckle. This is not just boxing, so we'll see how it goes in the fight itself. How you feel, your body feels after that. So it's a little different world, but the boxing avenue is still there, and fighting is still there too. Yeah, I mean, for the right price and the right stage and the right opponent, I think anything is possible.
Yeah. And what are the things? I mean, obviously, I don't want to get too ahead of myself here. BKFC debuted this Saturday at BKFC 41 in Denver. But outside of this, do you have a bucket list? Do you have certain things that you want to accomplish before it's set all or experience before it's all done?
Just want to win, man. Just want to win.
Just
I
the
miss
W. Yeah.
I miss winning, and putting in the time like I have, and really, like I said, I took all that time off, 3 years off COVID. I broke my jaw, and I had a lot of time to think and just to live my life. That time away made me realize, how much I missed combat sports and fighting, and going back into that Costa fight that was from so much time off. Coming into that, just to get back to my base level and get my passion back for it. Now I've been going full steam ahead ever since then and now, and I'm better in so many ways than I've ever been. And so if I go out there and perform, I think anything is possible. And I'm beating guys, smoking guys that are much better than Mike Perry every day. So as long as I just do my thing, perform, this should be a good night for me.
Yeah. And are you surprised that he took the fight? I mean, you should have a really big size advantage here. Like, right, you're like suited perfectly for 205, although you can make 185 as well. He's definitely like a more 170 type fighter. Are you surprised that he took the fight against you?
I think he thinks I can't box. He's about to
Hmm.
find I got hands. I think Mike is like I said, Mike's sometimes he's too dumb for his own good. Um, and that's what I'm gonna make him realize.
Yeah. You feel like he's underestimating you?
And I mean, what we're fighting on a stage. I had to handicap myself because we fought in a real fight, it'd be over. So what? So I'm gonna take away my biggest weapons. I'm gonna fight him as a strong suit. I think it's a pretty even fight. Actually, if you want to take it, you want to take away my kicks, take away my grappling. Now we're just gonna box you. Now we're looking at now we're a real fight. People
Yeah.
will actually be interested in.
Yeah, and I don't know if you didn't realize this at the moment, but I don't know if you went back and looked. You guys had the press conference, right? You guys had some face off, and I don't know if he actually did or not, but it appeared that he maybe like picked his nose and like try to put a booger in your jacket. Did you look at the video back and did you check your jacket? Like what happened there?
It appeared things appear a certain way than they aren't. Um, if there was real shit on my shit, there's gonna be problems. There's always gonna be problems. Repercussions.
Yeah.
There'll be consequences. Trust me. We're just a few days away.
Do you expect like more of that type of antics? In the build up to this fight in the next few days?
I don't know. We'll see. Mike can do his thing. I'm gonna do my thing. There's a reason why he is where he is in life.
Yeah. And this fight is obviously at elevation in Denver. Last time you fought as well was in elevation. How has this preparation been? Like, did you learn anything from that fight that you had against Costa that you've applied here in terms
Well,
of the preparation?
I've been in Denver for almost a month now, so I think that should say something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, I think altitude affects everyone differently, and it affects me for sure. So getting up here and adjusting, I feel good. I feel ready. Mike is obviously he's fought up here and he's trained, I think, in Albuquerque. So I don't know. I think he has an idea of what he's doing too. So we'll see. We'll see who did it right. But I believe I've corrected all my mistakes and I'm just ready to fucking fight.
Yeah, for sure. And it's going to be an exciting fight. And for the Costa fight, did you go out earlier to Salt Lake City to acclimate, or did you just go straight to the fight?
No, straight into the fight.
Okay.
I was supposed to fight. Costa and me were supposed to fight in Dallas originally, or no, in Vegas. They were trying to book it in Vegas, and there was nobody else for me to fight, and it was a fight I wanted. He pushed it to Dallas, and then he pushed it another time. I mean, he made excuses and said he needed more time, and so they pushed it to Utah within that. And so, like from spot to spot to spot, I was just so pissed off and fed up about it. I just took the fight. I didn't even really think it through about Utah, about the elevation. Denver is one that pops out, but you forget about Utah sometimes.
Yeah. And from what I kind of get a sense of, you mentioned how like the fight with Costa, it was kind of like your return, you're building a base. Obviously, as you mentioned, you weren't, I guess, properly prepared in terms of like acclimating to the altitude. Do you feel like you're gonna, in a way, shock any doubters out there that are maybe saying like, "Oh, he's got cardio issues or this and that, or he's slowing down"? Do you feel like this is a big opportunity to, kind of shut the critics up?
Every fight's a big opportunity. Everyone wants to assume something wrong, something bad. I don't, I got no chin, I got no heart, I got nothing, and then I got to go out there and I got to go prove it every time. So, I got no cardio. We'll see. I believe I'm prepared. I'm ready. I'm better in every way. I'm gonna go fucking do my thing, and the best will come out.
For sure, yeah, and excited for this return. Lastly, I want to ask you this: you mentioned combat sports, right? Bare knuckle boxing this weekend, potentially boxing, not closing the door in MMA. But what about grappling? I know you did that in the past. The grappling circuit has changed vastly. I think since you last competed, I think it's more lucrative now, more opportunities, more promotions as well. Any interest in returning to jiu-jitsu world?
Grappling needs to change. If I were to grapple, there would have to be rules instituted that actually reflect self-defense. grappling, this whole new wave of professional grappling, of butt scooting and diving for legs and different things. It's not realistic. It's not self-defense. When I started grappling, I had to take on 2 guys at once. There's stick fighting. There's all kinds of different scenarios, but I do combat sports for self-defense. Like, that's what it's all based off. That's what it should be. The sport jiu-jitsu thing where guys are dropping to their ass like little bitches and fucking butt scoot and leg locks. It's just pathetic. It's sad. It's hard to watch. And I don't want to be involved in it. You're not going to drop to your ass in the middle of a fucking street fight and try to pull guard. The guy's going to stomp on your face or grab a fucking shovel and hit you in the head. These kids are changing the sport and it's stupid. And so if there were real rules, we're not evading the mat, not running away from if you concede a takedown with a butt scoot, you lose 2 points. You go for legs, you should be able to get fucking punched in the face. These people are just doing these. It's not real anymore, and I just want to do real shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that a lot from other fighters as well. Kind of the sport jiu-jitsu has taken a lot of aspects of like positioning and whatnot, of like the importance of like being on top as well. I don't know if you saw recently, Chris Weidman actually did a grappling competition in Polaris. I guess it also depends on the opponent, right? Go against somebody that doesn't have sort of that style of leg locks. That's somebody that's butt scoot, I guess.
There's leg locks. All right, there's certain things. It's just like they compromise themselves so much. You can't when you're diving under somebody and you're completely compromised, searching for an ankle. I mean, you should be able to hit him in the fucking head. This is stupid. It's dumb. And then you butt scooting, it's like to another level. It's like, or even in my match with that guy Nick I went against, there's what's called evading the mat in wrestling. If you're running off the mat every time I get an underhook, you lose a point. It's 1 point deduction from running off the mat. So you can't there's all these Brazilian jiu-jitsu rules that are like trying to integrate wrestling, but not really integrating it. The whole thing needs to be changed. They can't flee the mat. You should force interaction. If you want to drop to your ass, you lose 2 points. If you want to die for leg locks, you should be able to get slapped in the fucking face. There should be a different, there should be a real, maybe I'll start something after this fight.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Some combat jiu-jitsu, yeah.
Combat jiu-jitsu, what it really should be. People just it's pussified. Jiu-jitsu is pussified. All these guys, they call themselves fighters, and they all they do is jiu-jitsu because they're scared to get hit in the face, and they're scared to like interact and fucking go for a takedown. So you just drop to your ass. The whole thing's just pussified. I don't like the pussy sports.
Yeah, so maybe not jiu-jitsu in the cards, but certainly, bare-knuckle, boxing, and MMA, we'll see. Well, Luke, appreciate the time. Very excited for this chapter of your career, specifically speaking, also this fight this weekend at BKFC 41 in Denver against Mike Perry. It's going to be a fantastic fight. So thank you for your time, man, and best of luck.
Thank you. Bye.